Hey, how's everybody doing? So I just wanted to continue off the last video. We were talking about what it really takes to be a successful affiliate marketer. And the first thing that we were talking about was the idea of building compounding skill in your business. So of course, we talked about this in the last video, but what I want to talk about now is I want to talk about a different aspect, which is compounding relationship and compounding trust, okay? So if you're going into business, I really don't suggest doing it all by yourself because it's so hard to make everything work when it's only one person, okay? But if you have a business partner, you can really go far together. And I'm going to explain to you why. So basically, the same way that compounding interest works in the stock market, we talked about the idea of compounding skill. There's also an idea that I want to talk about, which is the idea of compounding trust. Okay, so compounding trust is basically when you have a business partner that you're doing business with. Basically, at first, there's going to be almost no trust because it takes, on average, about 2 years to really get to know somebody, to really understand who they are on a deep level. What kind of person are they? What really values do they have? A lot of that stuff doesn't come up until years into a relationship, whether it be a business partner, somebody that you're dating, stuff like that. And when a business relationship is new, I advise that you should always trust this person, but the amount of trust that you have and the amount of business that you're going to be able to do together is naturally going to be very small at first. So let's say that you have a business partner. The first month in business, you're not going to be out there doing just like enormous things together because, you hardly know each other. There's not a lot of relationship built between you guys. But let's say that you stick with that business partner for 2 years, for 5 years, for 10 years. Over time, you're going to have so much trust built up with that person, as long as nobody's violated each other's trust, to the point where you can just do enormous things together. And, it's so important to do business with people that you really trust. And it's so important that you stick with a good business partner to watch the compound trust factor come into fruition, okay? So this happened a lot with my brother and I. At first, there was a lot of stuff that I had to trust my brother, financial stuff, is the money, accurate, whatever it is, right? And, of course, at first, I was always a little bit skeptical. I'd always ask to, double check things in the bank or whatever. And, there were never any errors. He was always on point with everything. And, same with me, right? So over time, we were able to build up so much trust to now Peter and I really just sort of blindly trust each other. When we say something, we just assume it's 100% true and 100% factual and 100% trustworthy. And, because of this aspect, there's a lot less friction in our day-to-day business activities. We don't have to be thinking about, okay, was this person, being truthful when he said this or that, or did he really mean this or that? Peter and I are so aligned with each other that basically it's very easy for us to do massive amounts of business together. So basically the compound trust is only achieved over the course of, a long period of doing business with somebody. I would say it takes at least 2 years to really build up that trust factor. But, the results that you can achieve when you have a good business partner, it's just unbelievable, guys. I mean, look at Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. Those guys are almost like two peas in a pod, the same way that Peter and I have been as brothers. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger have been business partners for ever since they were in college, I think, right? And now those guys are in their 80s and they've just created, billions and billions and billions of dollars together in profit. They have basically some of the highest regarded reputations in the investment world today. And it's because they were able to do things together really frictionlessly. And because they were able to trust each other and trust each other's judgment. And that's it, guys. So find somebody that you can do business with that you really trust, okay? And, meet up with that person face to face as much as you can, because it's hard to really get to know somebody only through, Zoom calls or through Skype chat. And I don't really recommend having a partner that's only virtual, that you only talk to online. I think that really, in order to have like that full trust factor, it needs to be somebody that you can actually meet up with in person. So Peter and I, like, we live in different areas of the country, but before the Corona thing hit, we would meet up almost on a monthly basis for different business meetings, for business trips, for conferences, for just family visits, whatever. Every single month we'd meet up with each other. And, I'm not saying that that's why we work together well. I think that, at this point, it wouldn't matter if we didn't see each other for years. I think, we would still trust each other the same. But, what I'm saying is that you really need to get to know the person that you're working with. You need to really understand what their skills are and how you guys can work together and benefit together. And that's when the compound trust factor really starts working its magic. Anyways, guys, I hope that this video is valuable. These compounding effects are really universal laws of life that can be applied to many different areas. So hope you find this interesting, and I'll see you in the next video.